Okay everyone, so this is my last of 3 videos I made today. This time I'm graphing in standard form. I've already done in my previous videos vertex form and intercept form. This one again is just as important, if not more important, than the other 3. Let's get going. So when they give it to you in standard form, guys, you have to remember to do negative b over 2a, okay? Negative b over 2a. Remember, the b is always your x coefficient. So in this case, I'm going to get a 4. And the a is always your x squared coefficient. So in this case, it's negative 2. And so watch those negatives, because notice I do have a negative of a 4. And I do have 2 times negative 2. And I get a 1. Positive 1, not negative 1, positive 1, right? So now I'm going to make my table. And I'm going to put negative 1 right in the middle because, or sorry, positive 1. Ooh, almost messed up there. Understand that positive 1 is what we call the vertex, or the center of the graph, or the axis of symmetry is actually x equals 1, which we will discuss later. Okay, but anyways, 1 goes in the middle of the table, and I'm just going to count up and down. Now, a little trick I use, guys, I always like positives better. So whenever I can, I count backwards. See, I could have very easily done 0, negative 1, but I went ahead and did 3, 2, 1, 0, negative 1. Just a little suggestion. Okay? But anyways, I just need to plug these in, right? So I'm going to start with 3, and I'm going to plug it in. So I'm plugging in the 3. Hopefully you can read my scribble here. But again, if you typed it in exactly like that in your calculator, guys, powers, parentheses, negatives, it's going to work every time perfectly. Please use your calculators, okay? Even I mess up sometimes, as you've noticed, just doing it mentally. So it's worth it just doing it with your calculator. Enough said. So 3 squared is 9, times negative 2 is negative 18. 4 times 3 is 12. I know 12 and negative 18 is negative 6, minus 3 is negative 9. I know negative 1 by symmetry is negative 9. Let's go ahead and do the positive 2 next. By the way, guys, on the quiz, there will be more negatives than usual. So like this one was a negative 2x squared. Know that there will be negatives there, so watch that negative. Okay, so anyways, I'm plugging in the 2. And I know 2 squared is 4, times negative 2 is negative 8. I know 4 times 2 is 8. Oh, that's 0, right? 8 minus 8 is 0. And so I'm left with just negative 3. So 0 also is negative 3. And now all I have left to do is the vertex. So I'm going to write on my grid here, guys, since I don't have a lot of space, and then I'm just going to erase it. So here I go. I'm going to plug in the 1. And I know 1 squared 1 times negative 2 is negative 2. 4 times 1 is 4, minus 3. 4 minus 2, 2 minus 3 is negative 1. So pause the video before I erase my work. Okay, so hopefully you paused the video there. If you have to, rewind it, of course. All I have to do is graph it, right? So 3 is negative 9. Guys, I just need to go 1 spot below the negative 8, right? 2 is negative 3. 1 is negative 1. 0 is negative 3. And negative 1 is negative 9. There's my graph. So let's discuss this graph a little bit. I went ahead and did Desmos again. Same graph, guys. It's just a little bit larger and zoomed in using Desmos. Great program again. Get that Desmos on your phone, guys. Use it. But anyways, notice my vertex is at 1, negative 1, as we got in our table there as well. We also got actually this time a y-intercept at 0, negative 3. That was in our table as well. But the one thing I want to remind you of, guys, is don't forget that line that splits it in half. That's called the axis of symmetry. And so axis sim for short. In this case, our axis of symmetry is x equals 1. And that's also what we got when we did negative b over 2a. What else? Oh, and notice that the vertex right there is a maximum. It's the highest that it goes. So in the previous video, we did some graphs where they were minimums. When you get a negative x squared, guys, you get maximums, right? Because you're going to have it open down, and therefore the vertex is the highest point of the graph, and that's why it's called a maximum. Also notice, guys, there's no zeros up here, is there? That happens sometimes. Okay? So this one does not have any x-intercepts. No zeros. All right, see you in class tomorrow.